I have so many selfish questions for you, first of all. But first, I want to start learning about your career trajectory because there are obviously a lot of makeup artists in the world. There's a lot of very talented people, but you have gotten this very unique reputation. You've earned this reputation to be like Hollywood's elite makeup artist. And I'm curious how you earned the reputation that you have.
I love this question because just to kind of piggyback what you just said about reputation, I think reputation really is everything. And your reputation it ends up being your legacy in a way. It's, how you make people feel at the end of the day, how you treat those around you, how you show up for people. That really is so much of your legacy. So people always ask me, well, what are some of the keys to success? And it really starts with your reputation because that's what takes you everywhere. Yes, you have to be incredibly talented. And there's so much, competition, most people would say in Los Angeles, but I'm never really thinking about that. I'm thinking about how can I always better myself? And I just focus so much on myself and hone in on that. And I think that just having that tunnel vision and focusing on my reputation and just caring for others and always being kind to everyone has always helped me in my career. And that aside, being incredibly resilient. There's been so many times in my career where something didn't go my way. I hate to call it a failure, but it's more of like a really deep challenge, right? Okay.
That's a very polite way to
Right.
treat
I'm
it.
like, because, I hate to say, we fail in life at things, but really it's those moments that really challenge you where you grow from it and you learn something. Like, think about it. Anytime you've won something or you've gotten an award for something or you did an incredible job at something, what did you learn from that? You didn't learn anything from it. We learn from those moments where no one's patting you on the back and you taught yourself a lesson. So if something doesn't really go my way, whether it's like a huge moment for your career or it's an interview or it's literally anything, and it doesn't go the way that you planned, well, let's think about it. What could I have done differently and how can I learn from this? Even though it's so tough in those moments to feel that way because you wanted it to go in a positive direction, you really got something really beautiful out of it because I feel like that's always made me an even better artist, an even better person. So I value those moments more where something didn't go my way and I was challenged really hard. And two things that have really helped me in my career is consistency and discipline. Since the beginning of wanting to be a makeup artist and before I even lived here, I grew up in Houston, Texas, and I literally started my career working at a mall, working at a Mac store. I was so
Wait,
consistent.
at what age was that?
So I got the job when I was 19 years old.
Oh, so you were a baby.
So I started this career really young.
Wow.
And even then, I wanted it so bad. And I had no business coming to LA. I have no business even being with these clients that I work with at the time. I was like, how am I going to do that? Growing up in a place like Houston, Texas. But what I've always found in myself is that I was a hard worker. I had that work ethic. And there's always somebody that wants it more than you. So if you don't step up and make it happen and work hard, someone else is just going to take it from you. You know what I mean? So I always felt like I had to work really hard. And when I was working at Mac, I really wanted to be an educator. And that was like my dream. And whenever I was working there, I studied so hard to practice my public speaking and facilitating classes and talking amongst my peers, whether it's maybe it's 60 customers in a room or it's 100 employees. I wanted that job so badly because I felt like, this is a job where people look up to you. You get to train and educate them. You get to teach to the customers, but then you also get to teach to your peers. And I was really young at the time, but I felt like, there's nothing I can't do. If I want it bad enough, I can study, I can work hard, I can get this. And I practiced for 2 years just being a protege to the trainer, and I ended up not getting the position. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. But it's those moments where you just feel so crushed.
Yes.
I was so crushed by it and you feel this devastation. But then the light bulb goes off and you think to yourself, well, maybe I was meant for something else. Maybe it's a different direction. And I had already built up this freelance career in Houston. So I felt like a big fish in a small pond. And when I was working at Mac, I was like, well, you know what? I've been extremely consistent with my freelance career. And I know how disciplined that I am in my craft. Then Instagram came about, social media. And I was like, what is this interesting app, And I saw early on that this could be used as a business tool. So I would post these photos every single day of my work. And then I would throw my clients' work in there too, just customers coming into the store. And that's that consistency and discipline. Maybe you want to get better at social media. How are you going to do that? You can't just say, you know what, I wish I had this and I wish I had that. You have to go after it. So I would literally post every single day. I would stay up late at night working on makeup looks, have my friends come over, do their makeup, bring a hairstylist over. I was constantly trying to find people on my level or maybe a little bit above, because you're also who you hang out with too, right? Like the circle you hang out with is so important. And I started to really ramp up my social media. And I remember it was at the time where like you could grow. I feel like social media would reward you if you put the work in. And I remember getting my social media to like 10K as I was like leaving the Mac store. And that felt really good to like just step off into the world and start my freelance career. Within that 6-month period of me quitting Mac, I realized, okay, I'm going to stay here for 6 months and I'm just going to work on my freelance career. And throughout that time, Carmen Electra found me, and I would say like a bunch of other random people. Maybe they were B-listers, C-listers, D-listers. It doesn't matter. You have to start somewhere. But I just always loved that feeling of being able to put my work on really inspirational women and knew that I had to end up in LA one day. So it's just a matter of continuing to believe in yourself, maybe when nobody else really does, and knowing your worth and seeing that and staying consistent and disciplined and having that resilience when somebody tells you no.
I think it's such a skill that very few people have, to ask themselves, what else is there for me? And that's what it sounds like you really had, because a lot of people, totally fine, but they were very focused on like, okay, if I'm going to become a makeup artist, I have to like be a really good makeup artist, instead of, okay, should I be an educator? Should I put it on Instagram? There's more for me out there, and being able to question what else am I capable of is a skill that very few people have. And it sounds like that was really the crux of your success.
Thank you. Yeah. And it was interesting too, because I felt like just because I didn't get this job at Mac as their resident trainer, I can still do that for myself. Also, as soon as I quit, there was a goal I wanted to work towards, and that was throwing my own masterclass. And I saved up that money and I moved to LA. I constantly saved, and I was like, you know what? I can fill up a room of people. I can find a hair salon. I can find a space and fill it up. And that's exactly what I did. I had all of these customers and, you know, people that I'd created relationships with and clients show up to my class, and just people that wanted to be aspiring makeup artists. So for me, that was really the beginning of, okay, this is my education career that I can create for myself.
It really is amazing, because it's very common to hear a no and then think, okay, I'm not good enough for this. I'm not meant for this. Right. I shouldn't do this. The no stops most people. The no for you was like, okay, you said no. How do I make it happen for myself so I don't have to rely on someone else saying yes and I say yes for myself? That is wild. Like that is
true.
Such a good way of thinking that I think we all can tap into, but it's so rare.
Thank you. And I really hate when people tell me no.
Clearly, and it's worked out well. Yeah. It's like the cliche of like rejection is a redirection.
That just reminds me. So there's this piece of advice one of my clients gave me, and it was early on in my career. And it was with Kris Jenner, and just being in your, like the essence of your clients all the time, it rubs off on you in the best way possible.
Yes.
Right? And I'm so grateful to be in their energy and to be working on these women. And I'll never forget, it was kind of the beginning of the era where I was working with Kris Jenner, and I want to say it was 2016. And I remember her saying, if somebody tells you no, you're probably just talking to the wrong person.
Thank you, Kris.
Yeah.
Great advice.
And it's like, what's the worst thing someone can say to you? It's no. Why don't you just go for it? And
Why
everything
not?
is negotiable at the end of the day. Pretty much everything's negotiable. So it's like, what do you really have to lose? Just ask the questions.
Yeah. Keep asking the question until you get the yes. Yeah. It's not, no, okay, I'll stop. It's keep asking till you get the yes.
Or you're talking to the wrong person.
Or you make it your own like you did. Yeah.
Right. So there's so many directions you can go. But I think a lot of the times, most of us live in fear. And it's like, they don't want to ask. A lot of friends of mine have told me, you're so fearless. You're able to ask these questions and ask for promotions or ask for things like that. And you know, a lot of people, they don't have it in them. So I'm always trying to inspire those around me that you don't have to feel scared. It's not something that you should be ashamed of doing. It's just a simple question.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that difficult.
It doesn't have to be that difficult because it doesn't have to shake your self-worth, as I think a lot of people, that's like the fear is like, okay, if I get told no, if I don't get this job, I'm going to feel bad about myself. Yeah. Whether we're aware of that or not, that's
And you got to roll that off. That's so important when you're working on yourself and you're constantly trying to grow, you can't hang on to those things, you know, especially in this industry. You can't hang on to anything.
That I think that's what
moving.
separates the successful people from the people that don't end up living out their dream life. That's the main difference.
It's so true. You just got to keep the ball rolling. It's
gotta
like
keep the
move
ball
on to the
rolling.
next.
What would you say was the biggest pinch me moment in your career?
Oh, that's such a good one. I would say, okay, so the first pinch me moment was probably getting to land my first A-list celebrity.
Can you say who your first was?
Yes. So my first one was Khloe Kardashian, and it was when I first moved to LA too. So that's how you know you're really in the right place.
Oh, yeah. You're like, I have a life here. Yes.
Exactly. And I'm not saying I was her number one overnight. That's not how it works. But I had just moved to Los Angeles, and I moved in November of 2015. And then in December, I got an email from her team. And it was, can Ashley do Khloe's makeup in Houston, Texas on New Year's Eve? So she thought I lived in Houston.
Oh.
No one knew me in LA. I knew that moving to LA and taking this leap was most likely going to have to just hustle for it and start over and just get my name out there, whatever it's going to take. And of course, I was like, I have to get on a plane. And I had just gotten engaged at the time. And I just like looked at my fiance and was like, what do I do? And
you just moved to LA and you're like, yeah, gotta go back.
Right. And we were like supposed to celebrate. It was just a lot going on. And it was like, it had just happened. And he was like, you have to get on a plane and go back to Houston. You have to. So of course I did that. And at the end of the Glam, because I wanted to make it all about her. I think that's so important to never make something about you. You're really here to do a service, to make someone look and feel incredible in your chair. So that's what I was going to do. I just wanted to wow her with this Glam. And so after I did the makeup on her, I did let her know, I was like, I actually don't live here. I live in LA, and I moved to LA. And she was so taken back by that. She couldn't believe that I flew myself back. Khloe just has the biggest heart, first off, and she is such a personable person. And she just thought that was so sweet. And I feel like she doesn't forget things. She doesn't forget. And so she ended up kind of keeping me, I feel like, in the back of her list. And she would use me every once in a while when she needed someone on backup. So sometimes that's what it takes. Just because I was able to work with her right when I moved to LA, and that was such a pinch me moment. It was so exciting. I still had to like gain that trust. You know, it's a relationship that you're creating with someone.
Yes.
They have to feel like they can trust you. And everybody has their go-to people. But this is what I mean about you got to be hungry and you got to be ready for it, because you never know when you're going to get the phone call. You never know when you're going to get the text message, the email, anything that's coming your way that's going to change the trajectory of your career and of your life. And if you don't say yes in those moments and you're not ready for it and you're not acting like the person that you want to be in the future, it's going to pass you by and go to someone else. So I always tell my assistants and to always tell myself, if I want something and if I want to see myself in someone else's shoes that's doing more than me, right? It's like at a higher level than me in my career, I need to act like them. I need to do the things that they're doing. I need to invest in my kit, invest in my career, invest in the lighting, invest in the tools, invest in myself in order to manifest those kind of clients and brand deals and all of these incredible moments that become our careers. So that's kind of always been like my philosophy. I invest in everything that can help me, and it's really helped my career. And I'll never forget that moment with her. It was so special. There's definitely been a bunch of other pinch me moments in my career, and I always say Met Gala is a huge one too. So anytime you get to be a part of a moment like that, it's so huge for any artist, because to us, we feel like it's the Olympics.
It really is.
The Glam Olympics.
Yeah.
For hair, makeup, stylists, nails. It's so special. So I've gotten to do J-Lo, Megan Fox, just to name a few, for Met Gala. So it's been a crazy ride.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Are you ever really nervous, especially the first time you were with Khloe? Like, I just can't even imagine being like, I have to do a good work on their face. Like, the pressure is high.
Yeah. I think the first time that I did Khloe, I wasn't really nervous or anything like that. I think I was excited. And that's another thing I try to do is change my wording, change my verbiage. The way you talk to yourself and the way you tell your stories is so important, because if I keep telling myself, oh my God, I'm so nervous to go do this, well, then I'm just going to embody these nerves. But if I tell myself, I'm so excited to do this, I'm just excited to do this. So you have to like rewire your brain and all of your thoughts. And that's so important to me. I feel like that's what I've been doing since the beginning of my career. And it's like my little trick that helps so you don't psych yourself out. But I do remember my first Met Gala, I did Ariana Grande. It was in 2018. And it was such an incredible moment because it was her first Met as well. So I'll never forget that. And we got to share that together.
That's so special.
There's a lot of nerves, of course, that come with that because
I'm sure she's nervous too.
Everyone's nervous. It's like you feel like it's almost bigger than their wedding day. It's
yes, it's way bigger.
Yeah, glam takes hours. There's so many things that go into the look to make it a moment, and everyone really has to work together as a team. You need to get along with everybody in order to make something magical. So yeah, I've definitely felt the butterflies, but I don't like to call them nerves.
That's such a good tip because it's all about how you experience it. And I think that makes a huge difference. Telling yourself, I'm excited for this instead of I'm so scared and nervous.
And you know what else too I've realized is that if you really feel like you're nervous, the client thinks you're nervous. You have to have such a poker face energy vibe about you because your energy is what somebody feels before you even step into the room.
Yes,
right? And
so true.
Your job is to like take the edge off. What can I do to take the edge off? Let's start with our nerves. We got to feel good. So I do a lot of meditation, like even if it's just 10 minutes, I'll meditate before I walk into work. And it's really just breath work. It doesn't have to be anything too serious. I could just focus on my breath, like a couple deep breaths in and out. And I feel like it calms my nervous system down.
I always say like manifestation is really just a matter of training your nervous system. Like that's all it is you're training your nervous system to feel comfortable and okay in the situations you want to be in that otherwise might make you feel like, oh my God, this is so scary. This is so much is on the line. Training your nervous system to be okay in those times, that's manifestation.
Oh yeah, that's everything. I mean, it's so much of the career.
Yeah.
It really is.
And it makes so much sense to me hearing your story and how you look at things, like how you got to where you are having this career, what has set you apart.
Thank you.
For sure is very obvious. Because you've worked with so many incredible people, the coolest people in the world, can you take us behind the scenes of one of these glam sessions? Like what do people not see? What would we be surprised by?
Okay, well, it depends on who I'm working with, okay? So
very different.
Yeah, everyone's personality is very different. But I would say that most of the time, the clients are focusing on what they're trying to do. They are really honing in on whatever script they're about to go talk about, whatever interview. Maybe it's like we're doing something for film or it's a music video. So they're singing, they're warming up their vocals. Everyone brings something unique to the table, whether it's like the pop stars that I work with, the actresses, or, you know, maybe it's like the Kardashians and it's a wild, crazy, fun time. You know, like when I'm with Khloe, we're laughing so hard. Like the belly laughs are so deep in my stomach that my abs hurt. I want to cry. I might pee in my pants. I mean, you can.
Which is that hard to focus in because you're like, shoot, I mess up the cat eye.
Oh, and I am surprised we get as much work done as we do. I'm so shocked we get everything done. We have so much fun doing it. I like to have a variety of all different kinds of personalities in my chair because I think it's healthy to switch it up and work with different people. Good for my brain.
Yeah, it keeps you on your toes.
It keeps me on my toes and it's fresh. It's like you're constantly getting to do something new. So I know when I'm with Khloe, we're just going to be laughing the entire time. And maybe when I'm working with someone that's like, you know, Camila Cabello or Ariana Grande, like they're focusing maybe on whatever it is that they have to do. Maybe it's like a TV appearance. And we help each other with things. So sometimes we'll go over lines together too. So
You are like a multifaceted woman.
We all are. Like we'll be going over like the interview questions with them and act like the interviewee and just interview. We'll go through all the questions.
Wear many hats.
Oh, many hats. Yeah, I feel like it's this beautiful trust you have between the client and the artist, and you just feel it. If someone's touching your face, it is such an intimate service. The more you're with them, the more we spend so much time together that I've spent more time with my clients and family members. And there's been so much sacrifice that I've put into this career to get where I am today. But it's such a beautiful thing. And yeah, I think that it's so special to have like a deeper relationship with your clients, but a professional one too.
I could see how it's so like these are some people's most vulnerable moments. You're seeing them without makeup, which is how the rest of the world sees them with their almost like a facade mask. Like your makeup symbolizes so much you stepping into that celebrity. And when you're without it, before you get there, you're just the person, you're the
Yeah.
human being.
Absolutely.
And so you get to see them in such a vulnerable way.
In every state.
At every state, which is probably really interesting. But it's so cool to hear about how passionate you are about that piece of it. And I'm curious if you could share, knowing how important your career is, how much work you've put into it. We were talking a little bit off air about your pregnancy, your baby.
Yes.
And you haven't announced it yet. You're going to announce it by the time this goes live.
Yes.
Super excited. You haven't even announced it yet,
Thank
which
you.
is so exciting. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm
But
so excited.
what you started to share before we started rolling was so fascinating about thinking of your career as like nothing's going to change. The baby gets to come along with you
Yes.
in this very full life that you have, instead of feeling like you have to change your life for your baby. And I think that's a really powerful, empowering mindset that probably a lot of women need to hear. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about how you feel about it, how you feel about motherhood, and how that's going to affect your career.
Absolutely. So for starters, everyone around me that I work with, client-wise, most of them have kids. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them have kids. And it's, first off, it's really inspiring to see what they're able to accomplish while having children. It's such a beautiful thing, because I'm seeing these women that I work with and I'm like, wow, they can really do it all. And of course, it helps a lot to have people around that can help you, of course. But at the end of the day, I think anything's possible as a woman. I just have to give it up to all the moms out there, because moms put in so much work for their families and for their children. And I'm excited to be one of them. So for me, it's really all about just continuing my career. And I want my child to look up to something. And I want her to be proud of who her parents are. And I want to show her what hard work looks like and teach her these important values. And I think that you don't really have to change your life for your children. Yes, your life is going to completely change. I know what I'm about. I think I know what I'm about to get into. Okay, I'll
Time will
circle
tell.
back and let you know. But I know that women can do anything and we're just unstoppable. Like, seriously, what can your mom not do?
Freaking men.
That's all I'm saying. And there's so many things that I'm working on in the pipeline that I can't wait to share more about in the future. And it's all happening shortly after this baby is coming. So I know that this is just a motivation for me to continue my career and just to keep it going. And I think it's really important, like, who you surround yourself around, because I have heard a lot of different opinions about my career and having a child. And there's been different groups of people. You're either one or the other. You're either this type of person that's like, you know what? When you have a baby, your life is kind of over and everything changes. And then you have the other group of women that are like, your life is just beginning and so many blessings are coming your way. And having a baby is the biggest blessing, because it's like this, I don't know, this magical feeling of all these positive things start coming your way and your life just starts working out and things start falling into place. I'm not saying it's going to be easy and it's not going to be perfect and it's going to be a chaotic mess at times. Okay. But it's your chaotic mess and you're going to be able to navigate it. So I really look up to those people that have given me that advice, because I'm telling you, we've all heard it. What it's like, you either talk to someone really stressed out or someone that's really motivated and is doing a lot in their career. And you really can't get advice from anyone that hasn't walked in your shoes. Even before being pregnant and before I lived in Los Angeles and I was living in Houston and I wanted to move to LA. And I would tell people, yeah, I'm going to move to LA. It's one of my biggest dreams in life. And they would tell me, why do you want to move to LA? They would give me a list of reasons, like family members, of how that's a bad idea. They're running out of water. They're making people, they're writing people IOUs. Like, I don't know. I heard the craziest stuff. I swear.
Yeah, I get that.
And
had
it's
that
like,
experience
it's all about who you're asking. And opinions they're dangerous. Maybe don't ask for everyone's opinion.
ask opinions.
Just don't ask.
Especially with motherhood. That it's
Yes.
so true. Everybody has opinions, but I think obviously in anything in life and where you're going to move and what kind of career you're going to go into,
Right.
everyone projects opinions on you that it's really hard to question, but what do I actually want out of my life? Like, do
Right.
I want to look at motherhood as this way, or is there a more beautiful, true version that I want to view it as?
Right. And I waited so long to get pregnant and I don't regret anything. I feel like I wanted to be where I am in my career before I had kids. I always knew that I wanted to be able to give my baby everything. So I felt like, let me just work really hard. Let me grind it out. Let me get to a place in my career where I feel just really good about this. And I knew that I always wanted to have kids. It's a part of me that I've always felt like there's a little something missing. I think my life would be beautiful without children, But how much more exciting could it be if I just throw this into the mix? So
Like add it
why
on
not?
to your life instead of it feeling like now my life's over, I have to change
Right.
it. It's like a beautiful addition that yes,
Yeah.
you'll have to make sacrifices and
Yes.
yes, life will look different, but
Right.
your baby, your family, the way that your life is growing can
Right.
grow with the life, the
Because your
career you
career
want.
isn't forever. There's going to be a point in our lives where things change. Not always going to be wanting to run around with my makeup kit. Okay, let's
Yeah.
be real. And I want to have a family.
Yeah.
You know. So you really got to stop and ask yourself, okay, when is it time for you to do something for yourself? Everything moves so fast out here. Like when you're in this lifestyle, it's an amazing thing, but it's moving fast.
Fast as
It's
all
so
hell.
fast.
Yeah.
It is. So it's like you got to slow down for 1 minute to figure out where do you want to be 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now.
It's like you got to be able to allow yourself to strategize your own life.
Yes.
Instead of being so reactive to everything around you. It's like,
Yeah.
what do I actually want? What do I want in 5 years? Like, that's such a powerful question that a lot of people don't stop and think, what do I actually want? Not just like what is likely to happen to me in 5 years based
Right.
on my life, but what do I want my life to look like in 5 years? That's
Yeah.
a powerful fucking question.
It really is. We have to ask ourselves that more because, life's just going to pass us by if not.
100%. Okay, I have to get into your makeup tips. So many questions here because makeup is something I'm not great at, so I need all your help. First of all, I want to know, like, for the glowiest skin ever, what are some like routines, tricks, products, whatever to get like the glowiest, most gorgeous, natural looking skin?
Okay, I got you. So that's one of my favorite looks to do is just like your everyday makeup.
And you're
right?
so good at the glowy. That's why I had to ask you.
Thank you. Because it's effortless glam. We all need it. As much as like I love the soft glamour, we need both. We need balance in life.
Yeah.
So when I want that glowy, dewy skin that just, looks amazing on everybody, start off with a good moisturizer. Your skincare is everything. How you prep your skin. We cannot mask our actual skin and just put makeup on, right? So Tatcha came out with this dewy milk moisturizer and I'm obsessed with it. And it's amazing if you're oily too. If you have oily skin, you can still be glowy in all the right places. You're not gonna look oily. It's amazing for all skin, but I think a lot of times too, people that have oily skin feel like, oh, well, they can't do a makeup like that. Yes,
Right.
you can. You can totally do a glowy makeup, but you need to be prepping your skin with the right products. So the Tatcha Dewy Milk Moisturizer, obsessed with it. It feels like silk when it lays against your skin. So it feels really soft and hydrating, but it doesn't weigh your makeup down. So you could just wear that by itself. Then I would do a concealer just to spot treat in the areas. You need a concealer that's not going to completely matte out your skin, but you still want it to be blurring and do its job, right? And the concealer that I'm all over right now is the Dior Forever Skin because I feel like it just does everything that you need it to do from a concealer. It's not too matte. It still has a natural skin look, but it's going to help with redness and blemishes. And you can just kind of spot treat with that. Keep it simple. Then you got to top it off with a cream blush. So right now I have been loving the Morphe Cheek Thrills Blush Trios because you get 3 blushes in one packaging. It's a powder blush, a cream blush, and it's also a highlighting blush.
A highlighting
Yeah.
blush?
So
Okay,
it's
wait,
like-
what's the point of a highlighting blush?
The highlighting blush is a really cool formula because it's kind of just melts into the skin and basically think of like a cream highlighter and a cream blush mixed together. So you can take that and mix it into your blush for an even glowier cheek. And I think in the
Pretty.
summertime, it really is all about like that cheek glow. So why
Yes.
not use something that's going to give you more intensity on the cheeks, but still looks like skin? And then you can still powder too. So even if you're dry, if someone has dry skin or more mature skin, I think powder really is for everyone, but it's how you apply it. So you can apply powder in a more sparing way with a loose powder and you can make it look really natural and not crepey and cakey. It's about your technique and the layers that you're putting on your skin. So everything that I do, it's in thin layers. And I think that really is the secret to like that flawless celebrity skin is how you're layering your makeup. Definitely.
So meaning using very thin layers.
Thin layers of
everything.
everything, right? Because I feel like when I'm working with my celebrity clients, it's always a look, right? Like even if it's a natural makeup, a lot of thought went into that look. It's still a lot
Yeah.
of building and layering. But the thinner you can apply each product, the better because you're really going to get this more seamless, flawless, blurred blend. It just looks amazing in photographs too. It just photographs perfectly. So that's always my go-to trick. And then to top off the lips, I love lip tones that kind of just look like your lips, but better.
Yes.
So like
love
kind of
that.
like what the inside of your lip looks like. So Makeup Forever has some great ones. Anywhere Caffeine, Wherever Walnut. Those are really beautiful. You can contour the lips too. And it's like more of a wooden pencil. It's a little bit creamier. And then you can just top it off with a Laneige lip balm. That's such a go-to because I feel like it
That's a great
never
tip.
gets cakey on your lips. So especially if you're doing a lot of talking and you're like doing your podcast, just a lip liner and lip balm, the Laneige lip balm, it doesn't like get cakey.
That is such a good tip. When you say contour lips, tell me about this.
So I love using a darker lip liner to go around the lip. So just like you would contour and sculpt your face, you can do that on your lips. You can do that on your eyes. You can do it anywhere. Yeah.
I'm on your eyes.
On
My
your
mind is
eyes.
blown.
Yeah. Because it's just about taking your bronzer even and you can sculpt your crease. That's contouring your eyes. You know, when you bring it into the crease and wrap it around underneath, like you're creating that shadow where you would find shadows naturally on your face. That's where you contour. So whenever I'm contouring the lips, I generally like to start off by just overdrawing in the center of the lips. So like the Cupid's bow and underneath, and then I'll keep the corners of the lips really tight and close to your lip line. And I'll fill in the corners completely, but then I won't fully fill in all the way around. You can softly blur it like with your finger. Take your pencil and apply it, and then you can blend it with your finger. And then just pop your lip balm on or lipstick, depending on what you're into. But when you contour like that, I feel like it just, I don't know, it's something about it just like makes the lips look a little bit more shadowed. It looks sexy. It's a little bit 90s, but it doesn't have to be super 90s. It can still be more elevated and like in a 90s, but in a softer way.
Yeah,
you
it's like
know?
that, like a little pouty look, but it just naturally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I always feel like, you know, when you have a lip liner and you sharpen it too much, say you want that really precise line, that's great. You can sharpen it and you can get that from your pencil. But sometimes I like to let my pencils get really dull and I won't sharpen them like all week. And then I love when they get to like, it almost like looks circular on the tip. So when you apply your lip liner without it being too sharp, you get this blurred lip. And it's really cool. It's really on
Chic,
trend.
yes.
Yeah. So that way it's not too done. You know, it's a little bit more undone. And you just get this really gorgeous, like blurred lip look. And you can just pop lip balm on. So there's like two different ways you can use your pencil that I love to do.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
those are great tips. What about like cakiness? Is it just because they're putting on too much powder or too much foundation?
Yeah, I feel like when your skin can get, okay, we've all seen it before, skin can get really cakey around the nose area, like around the nostril. Sometimes we'll see it underneath the eyes. A lot of the times it's how you layer your products. Maybe you're using something that doesn't mix well with your skin type too. So I always say less is more on the skincare unless you're extremely dry. If my skin is acting up and it's super dry, I will put an oil on my skin. But for the most part, when I'm working on my clients and I need a makeup look that is not going to look cakey, that's every day, and I don't want it to budge, I start off with really thin layers of skincare. The SK2 Facial Treatment Essence, this is a product you would invest in, okay? It's a little bit on the pricier side, but it is so worth it because this is really all you need for your skin. If you are really struggling with cakiness and that's been your issue, I would stop using everything else right now and use the SK2 Facial Treatment Essence. So you put it in your hands and you kind of like press together and it feels almost spongy. It looks like a water consistency, like a liquid consistency, but almost feels spongy when you press it in between your hands, and then you can press it all over your face. And it controls your sebum throughout the day. It controls your oils because a lot of the times it's like your body heat and your oils are like mixing with the products and creating these issues on the face. But this will help to control that, to just give you that even surface. But you get the hydration from it. It evens out your pigmentation. It helps with redness. It helps with dark spots. It helps your skin over time. So it's kind of like this product that really does it all. But you're not overwhelming your skin with a ton of other skincare products. It's just the one. So now you can go in with your foundation. And what I like to use if I'm going to do someone's makeup and I need something that's just going to work, okay? I don't want to think about it. I know this is going to work. I'm going to grab my Armani Luminous Silk. I think as celebrity makeup artists, a lot of us will fall back on that in our makeup kit. I have a lot of foundations in my makeup kit that are a similar consistency, but this is an old school OG that never fails us as makeup artists. It's almost like a serum texture. It's buildable for it to be a serum texture. Depending on what kind of brush you're using, you can build it up or shear it out. It just feels really light on the skin. I would say it's almost a medium coverage, not really, but it's stunning. And it doesn't peel, it doesn't cake or anything like that. And then you can layer whatever concealer you like with it, and you can either wear it matted down or wear it very glowy. I even wear it on my clients that are super oily. It's very malleable. And I think that like what you're basing your skin with matters, because that can kind of make things like react with the rest of the products. So having like a good skincare and a good base routine is so helpful. I would also say a good setting powder on top is really important. So to avoid cakiness, I would start off with a loose powder. Mario came out with a great loose powder. It's talc free. I love that one. Also, Kosas has a great loose powder. They're not too heavy, but they give you just the right amount of coverage for it to be a loose powder. If you like a little bit more coverage, I would do Huda Beauty's powder, the Easy Bake. Yeah, that one's really great. It's definitely more of a glam look, but it's really blurring. It's really stunning. So just kind of like depending on what kind of look you want to do.
What you're going for.
Yeah.
What about tips to make makeup last? Like, especially I'm
Yes.
thinking there's a lot of brides.
This is a
I'm a
great
bride
question.
soon. So like,
Congrats.
thank you. But it's like, how do we make makeup look really glowy but last?
Okay, this is a great question. I would still prep the skin with the SK2 facial treatment essence, because you don't want to put too many things on your skin. When we're talking about longevity, I need this makeup to last maybe 14 hours. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you're sleeping in it. I'm not
Right.
sure. Right? I don't recommend.
It's my wedding. I'm
but
going to sleep in
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
exactly. You may pass out with your makeup on. Who knows? It was a fun night. So I would definitely keep it really thin and do the SK2 facial treatment essence. I would 100% wear the Armani Luminous Silk. I would do whatever concealer is like your go-to. Like I personally like that, the Dior concealer that I was mentioning to you. That's a great concealer for your wedding day, for longevity as well. It has a great long wear. It doesn't really crease. It blends with everything else. And then I would probably use like the Huda Beauty Easy Bake, because you get more coverage from it, but it gives you this blurred, flawless finish. And then definitely a cream blush. Those Morphe cream blushes are great because you have the powder in there too, and you have the cream. So you can set the cream with the powder. So the blush usually disappears first. So it's all going to set itself. You have everything you need. So I would highly recommend doing that. And then it's really important to do a setting spray. It's not for everybody, but I personally love it. And the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray, it's like an OG favorite of mine. It has a really fine mist to it, and you can use it to prep your skin with, and you can use it to fix your makeup throughout the day. You can to like refresh and then powder again. And then you can also use it to lock in all the makeup, right? That's such a good one, especially on your wedding day. Those things like have really never failed me. That's like my go-to, because I think sometimes we're putting too much skincare on and it's like making things peel. You start to see that it's separating around the nostril or something like that.
You're blowing my mind, because I get really dry skin, especially when I put on makeup. I feel the dryness like all the time. So my instinct is to be like, let me layer on all my skincare, put on the oils, heavy moisturizers, and I am always peeling or looks cakey, and I put on so little makeup, and that's probably why, right?
Yeah, totally. So if you are as dry as I am, do you feel like your skin just feels itchy if you don't have the right skincare on, because it's like so dry? It's almost like you don't feel like you have as great of movement.
I definitely feel like I like feel it in my face.
I have the same problem. Okay. If you're that level of dry, to be honest with you, okay, what I would do is I do an oil first. So like the Elemis Superfood Facial Oil, I love that oil. So I would do that with a SK2 facial treatment essence, like just those two.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
And then even try it with just the Elemis oil, keeping it still very simple, like one or the other. But I feel like that oil is just giving you like that extra level of like nourishment when you're extremely dry and it almost hurts to move your face.
Yeah.
I've been there. So
Really, I get it.
I've been there.
Especially in LA, it makes my skin like so much drier.
Totally. And we just want to feel glowy, but we want our makeup to last. It's about not overwhelming it, but still getting that moisture.
That's going to change my life, because I've been doing it wrong for years.
Yes.
So you're going to change my life. Your kit is, I know, probably a treasure chest of the best of the best that can't live without products. What are your like top 3 ride or die? These are the biggest game changer products.
Okay. Top 3 biggest ride or die products in my kit. The first one would have to be my tools. I am all about my tools, because I think as an artist, your tools are everything. So I use a lot of brushes, and they are all from Morphe, because they have every single shape you can imagine. So if you want to take your artistry to the next level, check out Morphe's new brushes. The other products that I'm loving right now is Dior's new blush sticks. Dior came out with these new blushes, and they're creams, and then there's also powder blushes, and they're pH activated. So once you put them on your cheeks, it kind of like enhances the color even better because it reacts to the natural pH in your body. You get this really long wear from the blush. It's really creamy when we're talking about the cream. You can set it with a powder or you can just wear one at a time. Those are so beautiful and the shades are insane. So I love those. I also love the YSL Candy Glaze lipsticks. It's kind of like a glossy balm. So those are beautiful. The number 15 shade is so pretty. It's like the prettiest rosy nude. It'd actually be really good on you and your skin tone.
Okay,
it's
say
so
less.
nice. So I love textures like that are really glossy and hydrating when it comes to a lipstick. But then I also love those rosy neutrals for the lips. So Makeup Forever Anywhere Caffeine and Wherever Walnut. Those are two really beautiful shades that I'm obsessed with. And then they also have Endless Cacao that's really beautiful to contour your lips with if you want more of a cooler undertone. And honestly, just all of the Makeup Forever pencils are such a staple, I think, for any artist.
Oh my God, I'm just about to spend all my paycheck on everything you just said.
Sephora.
Yes,
after.
literally a Sephora haul after this. So obviously the celebrities that you work with have access to like the best skincare and treatments and all that. So obviously they're doing a lot of other things, plastic surgery, that are making them look so beautiful. What do you see or what do you think A-list celebrities are doing that we may not know about?
A lot of A-list celebrities are biohacking. So I'm telling you, this is such a popular topic. I think NAD has been a really huge buzzword. My husband and I own a med spa called Dripology, and so many of my clients have been into Dripology and have worked with us and done our treatments. So we do a lot of skincare services, but we are known for doing IVs. That's how we started our business. And then we evolved into doing these like aesthetic services. My clients love NAD because NAD helps with so many things in your body. So, when you're doing NAD, it's really important to like get yourself on a schedule, whether you're doing it at least once a month, doing a drip, you can do a shot. And then we also have a nasal spray. I love the nasal spray because I don't always have time to run into Dripology. It's easier if someone comes to you. So we offer that as well, but sometimes you just want it the most inconvenient way ever. And I will just grab the nasal spray from my refrigerator. So what NAD does for you is it helps prevent dementia, for starters. I call it brain food, to be honest with you. So I'm always giving it to my parents. Anytime they come visit, I'm like, let's do an NAD drip, whatever we need to do. And you just feel good throughout the week. You feel sharper, you feel more on your A game. And on top of that, it helps the cell turnover in your skin. It helps the collagen reproduction. So it's helping you to look and feel better. You're actually reversing the clock by doing this one specific IV shot or nasal spray. The most potent way to do it is the IV, the shot, and then it's a nasal spray. But it's all really effective and just amazing to be doing. And then on top of that, I feel like it has really helped me with my fine motor skills. So I do a lot of really intricate, detailed looks, and sometimes I need to do something more editorial. Maybe it's a double wing liner. And I will have Hamed, my husband, give me like an IV the night before a really big shoot. Maybe it's a music video for someone. I have to do a lot of looks. It really helps my hands to focus and like my brain.
That makes sense.
Isn't that so powerful?
That's crazy.
One product that really helps so many things in your body. And there's even a longer list than that. Those are just like my top 3 things that it really helps your body to do. And you're also getting that bag of fluid when you do the IV. So like you're nourishing your body with hydration. Of course, it's important. The more water we drink, the better, because that's how you help your skin's elasticity. I think my clients all do a really good job of like taking care of their skin. But if you can do NAD, it's the bag of fluid at the same time. That's so good for your body.
That's such a good hack, especially like before, if it's a big event, if you can't afford that all the time, but like
absolutely
every so often to be able to do that.
Totally. And it's really affordable too to do the shots. I think they're like $40.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The IVs are a lot more expensive, but I mean, the product itself is just expensive. Look what it does to your body. It's incredible. So I would definitely say that's probably like the number one thing that I'm always hearing about. And we get so many bookings for NAD. And I know there's a lot of talk about NAD vitamins. There's a lot of this like chit chat about vitamins on social media and NAD, but it's poorly absorbed. Whenever you take a vitamin, it doesn't really do anything.
That's
to
what
be
I've
honest,
heard for NAD especially. It doesn't really do anything.
No, there's really poor absorption. Vitamins aren't even regulated by the FDA. So what are you even really taking? You don't really know. But it's just all marketing when it comes to vitamins.
Okay, those are amazing hacks. Ash, we're going to wrap up with some rapid fire questions.
Yes.
Your favorite celebrity look that you've ever done?
Megan Fox for the VMAs. She was
iconic.
I mean,
literally iconic. So good. Most difficult celebrity look you've ever done? The hardest one?
God, that's so tough. I can't really put my finger on it, but I would say music videos are a bit more of a challenge because we're doing so many makeup looks in one day and there's barely any time for changeovers. So probably something like that.
And it probably has like last for some like crazy shit. Like music videos get nuts.
Rain gets poured on you.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't know what's coming. Okay?
You have no idea what's coming. Yeah. Fill in the blank. If everyone had this one habit, it would change their life.
If everyone was consistent, it would change your life. Just being consistent in everything that you do.
Great answer. I love that. We've never gotten that answer. I love it.
Okay.
You've seen so many gorgeous faces. You've been in the beauty industry now for so long. You've been such a force in the industry. I'm curious to you at this point, what does beauty mean to you?
Beauty to me is really how you feel. You know, I think my answer, if you would have asked me when I started my career and I was 18 years old, I would give you the same exact answer. Or even when I was, in intermediate school, junior high. I always feel like it's how you make someone feel. It's everything. If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you look good. They just go so well together. And at the end of the day, that's what I always remind myself of. That's why I do what I do. It's so rewarding to just be able to help someone transform and turn on and to step into this persona. I mean, a lot of the times you're coming in to the glam room and maybe you're having a tough day. But if I can help you, I have the power to completely turn your mood around and your day around. It's almost like it helps give you this like armor to be able to do whatever it is that you need to do today.
Yeah.
And so many times my clients come in and they're like, you know what, I really wasn't feeling good. But you're able to turn someone's mood around. It's so powerful.
Oh my gosh.
So just being able to touch people through my artistry, I think is so beautiful.
Talk about like a manifestation strategy, like your makeup, how you feel, how you present.
That's why we purchase makeup all the time and want to try new things and experiment and explore with new trends and techniques. It's a feeling, right? Right.
So
and there's
true.
no wrong or right way to do it. I always say there's no rules too.
Yeah. It's about feeling like your highest self instead of like the aesthetic or whatever. Yes.
Exactly.
Ash, that's such great advice. Where can everyone find you?
Everyone can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, Ash_K Holm.
Thank you so much, Ash. This was so fun. Everyone's going to be like, who is this bitch? Because she's unrecognizable. She looks so good from all your makeup tips.
I am so excited for you. I'm going to write everything down.
I hope you enjoyed the episode. I know I sure did. Please do not forget to rate, review, and subscribe. It really makes a huge difference for our show so we can keep growing and bringing the content that you love. If you want more info, you can find us at the Everygirl Podcast on Instagram or theeverygirlpodcast.com. Talk to you next week.